Today we're going to talk about staring at walls, but more importantly, we're going to talk about why everyone is staring at walls incorrectly. The ultimate goal in staring at a wall is to improve your mind's ability to retain focus and attention on a specific task for a prolonged period of time. You might have heard many of these different titles before, such as wall maxing, or people claiming that it has changed their brain. It's a new productivity hack, even better than Adderall, and I'm going to share with you today the main thing that these videos are missing. We're going to discuss the many hidden psychological mechanisms that are at play when you stare at walls and how you can utilize them to improve your focus and attention. Your mind's ability to retain deep focus and attention on one particular task is a skill that can be improved over time. By the end of this video, you will have equipped yourself with psychological strategies you can use each day to improve your ability to focus. At any given moment, there are two sources of available stimuli. You have what's in your environment or in your surrounding area, and then you have what's going on inside of your mind. When you stare at a wall, your field of vision is being held as a constant. There are no sources of distraction in your visual field, and all you have to look at is a blank wall. Your other senses are also being held constant. For example, the sounds in your environment. This leads us to our first major point. Assuming that you're holding your physical environment constant and it's free from distracting stimuli, staring at a wall becomes a battle within your mind. This is an exercise meant to practice your ability to control your mind, including your thoughts, any stress that you're feeling, as well as your anxiety and your emotions. This is extremely difficult and easier said than done. In order to control your mind, let's understand how it works. Your mind constantly switches between two states. The first is exploitation, and the second is exploration. Imagine you're working on one singular task, completely focused with no distractions. This is exploitation. This is when you get shit done, and this is the attention muscle that we're trying to improve. It's free to explore any thought that flows into your stream of consciousness. This is the state of mind for creativity and introspection. You might be asking yourself, when you stare at a wall, which state of mind are you in? The truth is, most wall maxers are really practicing exploration. They're not training their attention muscle. They're simply letting their mind wander. And don't get me wrong, practicing healthy exploration has a ton of benefits. Some of the most influential humans in history carve out time every day for their mind to simply wander. An example is Charles Darwin and his infamous sand walk, where he would go on long walks multiple times a day simply to let his mind wander. It's like when the solution to a very difficult problem comes to you randomly while you're taking your morning shower. However, if you want to improve your focus and attention, you should not be focusing on exploration. Instead, we're aiming to practice exploitation. Achieving deep focus requires both physical and mental attention, and your mental attention is directly tied to your physical attention through your visual system. Let's apply this to wall maxing. First, you want to set yourself up at the same distance away from the wall as you are from the task you're trying to focus on. That means if you work on your laptop and you sit regularly around 16 inches from your screen, then you want to position yourself 16 inches from the wall. Instead of just zoning out, as you set your vision on the wall, the goal is to decrease your interpupillary distance to focus on a small cone of visual imagery. This is the cue for the brain to activate a set of neurons in the brainstem that trigger the release of epinephrine and acetylcholine. These are the neurotransmitters that affect alertness, attention, and sensory processing. As you focus your attention on the wall, your mind will start to drift. It's your job to bring your attention back. These are your mental reps. This is what makes staring at walls difficult. And remember, your mental attention is directly linked with your visual system. Whenever you feel your mind start to wander, lock in your visual system and keep your mind in check. As you practice and start to challenge yourself, you might feel sort of a sense of agitation. If you feel this, that's the epinephrine in your system, and that usually means you're doing it right. Now that you know the mechanisms behind wall maxing correctly and how to properly set up, the question becomes when and how long. I recommend a short warm-up routine of anywhere between 90 and 120 seconds before a deep work session. This is mainly to warm up your eyes on focusing at a small interpupillary distance and to warm up those neurotransmitters in the brain. If you're actively trying to grow and improve your attention, I recommend one 10 to 15 minute session per day. This is when you really challenge yourself. You feel that agitation. You're testing your ability to control your mind and bring yourself back into focus. You're also training your visual system to work with your mental system to stay locked in for longer periods of time. The goal is not to achieve deep focus for all day long. Most people and many extremely high performing individuals only achieve a deep focus for around 90 minutes a day. If you can't achieve deep focus, it's not your fault. When resources in society become abundant, problems emerge. And in reality, abundant information in our environment results in constant stimulation. By subscribing to the channel, you can equip yourself with the tools you need to make your energy and focus a priority. I wish you the best.